Welcome to The Zone. The Zone is a show dedicated to the world of HBCU sports and beyond. On The Zone, we have exclusive interviews from across the country. We discuss topics that others dare not touch. So join us for this week's episode of The Zone, presented by the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. And welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It's the radio guy we have on the line with us right now, head football coach of the Texas Southern Tigers, Coach Clarence McKinney. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing great. Appreciate you having us on.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you making yourself available. Look, you guys just finished with your spring game. I know a lot of things going in stealth mode. You're not going to reveal your depth chart just yet, and we understand all that. But can you give us a recap of how things looked in the camp, and what's your prognosis thus far?
Things look pretty good. You know, we our goal was to build depth throughout the team, and we feel like we accomplished that goal. And the other goal was to come out of it healthy, and we think we did that fairly well.
Okay, you did that fairly well. No injuries to be concerned about. Last spring, you had a major injury to one of your top receivers, and it kind of lingered on throughout the season. Have you addressed that depth chart for your receivers this season?
Yeah, we played some young guys on last year, so we got some experience now with the guys that we played on last year, and we went out and recruited a couple guys that we feel like can come in and contribute right away and help us be that explosive offense that we used to be in.
Okay, and I know that you built a team the way I like to see teams built, with a bunch of freshmen, taking your bumps and your bruises, but now it's the coming of age, and you appear, at least on paper, to be strong where it really counts, and that's your interior lines on the offense and defensive side of things. How you feeling about your line play leading until the regular season?
Well, you know, it's one in the trenches, so we feel really good about the guys we got up front. Got a really good group of experienced guys who've been around. They understand the scheme and what we've been asking of them to do. And we feel really good about those guys showing maturity and showing a little bit more experience and going out there and executing how we need them to.
Yes, sir. Now, we do know and understand that there's always a diamond or two in the rough. And once again, without revealing all the intel, do you have any rising stars in your eyes from what you've seen this past camp?
Yeah, I think defensively, a guy who to look for is Jacob Williams, who actually he was our leading tackler on last season until he got hurt midway through the season. And so he'll be back. He's back. He's healthy, and we're looking forward to him taking his level of play to a whole nother level. Okay.
Now, when we talk about building programs and we talk about a successful run, it all starts, in my opinion, with nutrition. And we talk about facilities all the time, but it's great to hear that you guys are getting a new facility and the possibilities of trying to see what you need to do to upgrade your current field on campus where you can play more of these games on your campus environment. How important is that, or is one have more weight than the other, continuing to build your program?
The facility that you're speaking of, the weight room, is extremely important. You know, we have been struggling with having a weight room, but we've been getting it done. And all that's going to do is just help us get a little bit more stronger, you know, with our entire team and allow us a chance to develop our players. And so we're excited about the weight room being built. Hopefully we can get in there this summer and get some growth on the team.
Okay, now growth also, with that weight room comes nutrition, and we talk about it all the time. And a training table is something I think that could be doable regardless of the challenge that we would have budget-wise on our level. Are you anywhere closer to that, or are you making any type of adjustments or arrangements with your food service, such as Sodexo and a nutritionist?
Yeah, we don't necessarily have a training table, but what we do have what we call fueling stations, which allows our players, all of our athletes, the ability to, throughout the day, no matter what time of the day it is, to be able to grab some healthy food, some protein bars and things of that nature to help them throughout the day so they're not going around hungry, coming to practice on empty stomachs, and allowing our people to have the ability to grow from a nutrition standpoint.
Okay, so and there's no special meal plan or anything that you work out with Sodexo for student athletes?
No, there's not.
Okay, well, I'm on record for saying it. I'll say it again. Sodexo charge enough and make enough money where they can set aside a special menu for student athletes. And I guess my people get with your people to get with their people so we can try to make something happen about that. How does that sound, Coach?
That sounds like a plan. Make it happen.
Make it happen. Yes, sir. Now, we're talking right now with Coach Clarence McKinney of the Texas Southern Tigers. No doubt about it that they open up the season each year in a unique way. Most rival games are played toward the end of the year, but this Prairie View Texas Southern game appears to work at the start of the year. Now, when you got involved with this rival, Coach, they were playing home and home games at the time, right? And I know you grew up watching this rival, but you never played at the NRG Stadium, correct?
Correct. So when I would go to the games as a kid, it was always at the Astrodome.
Yes, sir.
But since I've become the head coach, I mean, maybe this was before I became the head coach, but I know we've only had home and home games with Prairie View. Okay,
let me assure you, sir, that I experienced it, at the NRG, Astrodome, and Robinson Stadium. We don't have to ever go back to NRG. I know you can get more people, but I've always felt like they treated us like second-class citizens. I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me, I know it was Wisconsin playing one year, and I want to say maybe it was LSU or something like that. But it was at NRG. They first brought our game from Saturday to Sunday. And then when we played on that Sunday, we still playing with Wisconsin and LSU's logos in the field. And I felt slighted, man, and I said, we don't have to ever come back here. How do you like the approach of playing home and home with this right?
I really like the home and home. To me, the game should sell itself. It's not about the venue. You're talking about a great rivalry, two teams that are going to play extremely hard against each other. First game of the year, so you're kicking off the season with a conference game. There's not much you can ask for. So where you play it really shouldn't matter. And I kind of like the home and home. Gives us a chance to play at Prairie View, which we wouldn't have that opportunity if it wasn't this way. And so, I'm all for playing the home and home.
Okay. Well, there was one year there was a neutral game, so I played at Delmar Stadium, and people were hanging off the rafters. There were so many people at that game. I like that environment as well. But like I said, it doesn't matter where they play. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Coach. I know you don't care when you play them, but do you think it would be far-stretched if we scheduled each other to play for one another's homecoming game?
I don't know if you want to do that, but I think you would miss out on a second opportunity to have a sellout or a large crowd if you put it on homecoming. So the way it is, you basically have two homecoming games if you want to look at it that way. And then if you put this game on homecoming, you're taking away from a homecoming game that you could possibly have more people in the stands and build some equity or some funds that could help the program.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm all for that, but I just like the fact I wish all of our games, when I say our, I'm talking about every SWAC opponent, could have that homecoming environment at every home game. I know we select.
That would be a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it would be an awesome thing. We got a lot of tradition here, a lot of pride here, but sometimes, and I'm not going to get on this soapbox, sometimes it doesn't show if it's not who we think is a marquee opponent. But if you're supporting your program, it doesn't matter if they're playing the School of the Blind. Get out there and support your program.
Oh, no doubt. To me, the SWAC is an extremely balanced league. So every game is going to be a really close game, and I think if you are supportive of the programs, that's just going to make the games that much more exciting. If we get out there and we get our fan bases to travel, get on the road, support the program, support the guys that are representing the university, and not just at Texas Southern, but all the universities within the SWAC. It just makes for a much better atmosphere.
No doubt about it. Now, times have changed, Coach. Lord say the same. My next birthday, I'll be 56 years old. And I know to some I might sound like the old man get off my lawn when I make this next statement. But have you seen what has been the biggest cultural difference in getting teams to get the support that's needed? Because even when we had less facilities and less exposure, it seemed, and I'm just saying it seemed, that there was more involvement in attendance and road trips even.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the solution is or what the problem is, but I know if you're winning, people will follow. And so for us at Texas Southern, we got to start winning, and once we get on that winning streak, I believe our people will come out and follow us on the road and support us at home.
Okay. Now, it's ironic that you would say that, Coach, when you took on this assignment, and then this is 5 years, huh, Coach?
It'll be the fourth full season, but, yeah, this is the fifth year.
Yeah, the fifth year. I know the COVID. We got a 86 that COVID year. But when you inherited a program that no doubt had some challenges, you had to weed through it. I'm assuming that you walked in with your eyes wide open. You chose to go the traditional route of building from freshman base, which in building a program is the right thing to do. If you try to put together a team, then you'll get every JUCO and now even portal transfer in America to build a quick team, but it's no longevity if you're not building a program. How challenging has it been, or how tempting has it been from you to avoid going that all portal, all JUCO transfer route?
Well, when I was hired, there wasn't a portal. Portal wasn't available to me. So my plan and my goal was to build something that we could sustain throughout not just 1 year, but multiple years, and build a program. And so I just found it best that we go out and find the best high school players that we could find and bring them up within our program and let them take ownership within it. And luckily for me, my administration has been patient enough to allow myself and my coaching staff time to build the program. We feel like we're on that right track.
Okay, I feel like on that right track. And we know they say time sits still for no man. Do you feel like this is the year of the Tiger for the sake of continuing what you started?
Oh, without a doubt. I think all of the guys on the team have bought into the program. We've recruited some talented kids that's talented enough to help us win. And why not TSU? Why not right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we know that July 25th will be the SWAC Media Day from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm going to assume that Andrew Body will be one of your student athletes traveling with you. Have you decided on who the other accompanying student athlete would be?
Yeah, we hadn't. That's kind of far down the road. We hadn't taken a look at that part of the media day festivities yet, but we'll evaluate the team, see who's deserving, and get those guys on the plane.
Okay, well, Coach, that sounds like a depth chart response, man.
No, not necessarily. I hadn't put any thought to who we take to media day yet.
Okay, well, now it's going to lead me to this depth chart question. Notice I have not asked you for your depth chart. I'm not going to. But what is the big secret of keeping a depth chart secure into the vest to the very last minute?
It's about not giving your opponent an advantage, and so guys know who's playing, who's not playing. They can more easily prepare for you, and so you don't want to give your opponent an advantage. We know eventually as the season goes, they're going to find out who plays where, who plays what. But that's where the injury reports come in at. So you don't really know who's going to be available week in and week out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's not like it's an injury report, Coach. It's a depth chart. And we know that guys move up and down. Like they say from week 1 to week 2 is usually when you see your greatest advantage, right? So the guy you might have at the 1 right now, he might end up at the 3 after week number 2. So does it really matter?
Yeah, it does. It matters when you're talking about who you're about to play, and
yes, sir.
Those guys preparing for you. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir. Now your not all season, but conference opponents this year are very unique. I believe you're playing Toledo, you're playing Rice, and you're playing Lincoln University out of California. Me being from Missouri, whenever I hear Lincoln University, I always think of Lincoln out of Jefferson City, Missouri. But how do you go about matching up for your non-conference opponents?
Yeah, well, we just go out and compete. We go out and compete to win, see what happens. We want to improve our team each week. Hope we stay healthy enough to where when we get back into our conference play, we've improved as a team schematically in all 3 phases, and then we're healthy enough to go and challenge the rest of the SWAC for a SWAC championship.
Yes, sir. Now, I know the unique thing about football is sometimes these non-conference games are like 4 and 5 years in advance. What does your cycle look like when you start filling those gaps for your next non-opponents or non-conference opponents? Do you have like even the 2025, 24 seasons already fulfilled, or those are something you're going to have to build?
So for us, I'm not involved. I haven't been involved in the scheduling since I've been here. That's an AD question. So he makes those decisions on who we play and who our non-conference teams are, opponents are. So that would be an AD question that has that's above my pay grade. Okay.
That seems a bit unique, being that you would be the one having to go out there in the battlefield. But that's a whole nother, like I say, that's an AD question, and we'll 86 that one, and we'll keep it moving because I don't want to get neither one of us in no trouble, right? So we'll keep that moving. Well, look, you're heading into 2023. Things are looking strong. You're coming in, if I might add, with some momentum because at the end of 2022, you guys were really being, let's say, the darlings of the conference. And, in fact, you were one game, if we point to it, that Prairie View game was a difference in you guys playing to represent the West for the SWAC championship.
Yeah, that's why it's so important, to get a win in the Labor Day Classic because you just never know how the season is going to end up. This game is extremely important. We came one game away from representing the SWAC West and the SWAC championship, and you go out there and you win your first conference game, then you don't have to worry about what other people are doing. You just take care of business yourself, and you control your own destiny, which unfortunately we didn't step up to the plate and take care of business on last year.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, I want to wish you nothing but success for your 2023 campaign, and I want to let it be publicly known that I truly appreciate you as a man, as a coach. You've always make yourself available for the open mic, and we truly, truly appreciate you for that, sir.
Appreciate you. You're always thinking about the TSU Tigers and always having us on.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, we want to give you some closing thoughts and comments right now, sir. The floor is now yours.
I just want Tiger Nation to know that we're looking forward to an exciting season. So come on out and support these young men, and they're representing the university. Want to give you guys something to be proud of, put a quality product on the field, bring some wins home, and hopefully win the SWAC championship.
All right. He is Coach Clarence McKinney of the Texas Southern Tigers. The Maroon and Gray, they're going into camp, or just coming out of camp, getting ready for the 2023 kickoff for this will be the 39th annual Labor Day Classic, 38th or 39th. I get them confused. But, Coach, we do thank you so much. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys for joining in with us. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our website is obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side. The Panther Club scheduled to hold a golf tournament for April 29th in Pasadena, Texas. You can sponsor a hole, you can sponsor a team, or you can make a donation to help fundraise for the efforts of supporting Prairie View Athletics through the Panther Club. For more information, contact Adam Washington at 832-588-1090.
All right. It's me, Donna G, on the MIC, representing DG Sports and Entertainment, always and forever, coming to you this week and giving you a little bit of information about our SWAC, MEAC, HBCU sports, always and forever again. So listen, I gave you guys a list of spring games last week. They were pretty cool, so exciting. I want to mention that Prairie View A&M University is having our spring game this Saturday, and it will be held at 4 p.m. at Panther Stadium. So come on out and enjoy and celebrate and support our Panther football. All righty, Daddy. Also, it's going to be actually a whole week, or weekend, or day, excuse me. Let me clarify. It's going to be an entire day of events. So you might want to come early. I know the athletics department and all alumni, former players, football, and all sports are coming together on Saturday to commune and put together plans to support Prairie View Athletics. So that's something you don't want to miss out on. Softball versus Texas Southern is at 12 noon on Saturday. The alumni football game will occur at 1 p.m. Baseball has a game versus Alcorn at 2 p.m., and then the football spring game is at 4 p.m. So I want to make sure that you don't miss any of those events. In addition to the spring game, it's going to be Pantherland Day on the Hill. So that's very exciting for high school students and middle school students that want to come and visit Prairie View and see what it's all about. It's a great day. I've gone before, and I've had an awesome time. So please take the time out to bring your youngster if you're in the area. I think the area is 50-mile radius of Prairie View, so that covers a lot of people. You can register online at pvmu.edu/recruitment. So come on out and bring your youngster, or you come and support or try to meet some new faces. And maybe you can mentor and help a youngster get to Prairie View. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the baseball standings for this week. Now, for the SWAC, men's, baseball, of course, like I said. East, we have Bethune-Cookman at 11-2, Alabama State 12-3, Florida A&M 12-3, Jackson State 4-11, Alabama A&M 2-11, Mississippi Valley State 2-13. Grambling on the west side, which is the best side. I couldn't resist saying that. But anyway, Grambling is at 11-3, Prairie View at 10-4, Texas Southern 8-5, Southern 7-5, Arkansas Pine Bluff 3-12, Alcorn State 2-12. Now let's check out our ladies. Our softball standings are as follows. East is Alabama State with 12-6, Florida A&M 10-5, Bethune-Cookman 12-7, Alabama A&M 9-6, Jackson State 8-10, Mississippi Valley 1-17. Next we have West with Prairie View leading off 17-1. Grambling beat them last weekend, I want to say, on one game of that series, and I'm like, but it's okay. We're still leading the pack, 17-1. Grambling softball 11-6, Texas Southern 9-9, Southern 7-10, Alcorn 6-11, Arkansas Pine Bluff 2-15. So baseball and softball are underway. We're having some great games. So again, I encourage you guys to go check out some if they're close to you, or if you're going to be traveling for work and you'll be able to be in a city where a baseball, softball, tennis match is being held. Go check it out. You really could use the support. For MEAC softball, we have Morgan State leading with 10-1. All of these are conference standings, by the way. North Carolina Central 11-2, Norfolk State 9-5, Maryland Eastern Shore 6-4, Howard 5-9, Coppin State 5-10, South Carolina State 4-9, and Delaware State 2-12. That is softball. Now let's get into these men's tennis rankings. For the SWAC, we have Alabama State leading with 5-0, 5-0. Jackson State 4-1, Alabama A&M 3-2, Alcorn State 2-3, Prairie View 1-4, and Mississippi Valley State 0-5. Let's check out our women's tennis now. So women's, we got Florida A&M 9-0, Jackson State 8-1, Alabama State 7-2, Alabama A&M 6-3, Alcorn State 5-3, Prairie View 4-5, Grambling State 3-6, Southern 2-7, Bethune-Cookman 1-8, Mississippi Valley 0-9. And we're going to pivot over to the MEAC men's standing. So South Carolina is leading with 5-0, Morgan State 2-1, North Carolina Central 3-2, Howard 2-2, Norfolk State 1-4, and Coppin State 0-4. Our MEAC women's tennis standings are as follows: South Carolina State 6-0, North Carolina Central 4-2, Delaware State 3-2, Howard 3-2, Morgan State 1-2, Norfolk State 1-5, and Coppin State 0-5. Now I was kind of delaying some things for broadcasting and taping the session because I wanted to get the men's outdoor track and field honor of the week, but they haven't posted it yet. So I'll just mention the last couple of weeks. For April 5th, it was Alabama A&M's Kyle Graham and Ezekiel Salama for the Select Men's Outdoor Track and Field Weekly Honors. Let's see, last Wednesday, the 12th, it was Florida A&M's Brandon Love and Texas Southern's Kenneth Free So today is the 19th, and we should have someone, well, today should be the day that they release the name for the honor, and we haven't got it yet. So stay tuned, or I'll bring that to you next week. No problem. So, again, I want to mention about the spring games. If you're in town with your alumni or another HBCU, please don't hesitate to go. Okay, it might not even be your HBCU, but they need the support. They love the support. I mean, I can't tell you the rush and the feel that I get when I'm out of town or when I'm living out of town. Say, for instance, when I lived in D.C., and I go to a Howard game with a Prairie View paraphernalia on. So it's just a rush, and they appreciate it, and they're like, oh, wow, it's cool that you came to support. So trust and believe that it is definitely appreciated. Okay, in other news, it just was released yesterday that Coach Prime and other coaches, including our coach, the one and only Mr. Bubba, will be headlining a mega camp at Prairie View. So it promises to be awesome. We want to make sure that you guys get your students, your players registered, okay? And I know it's going to be a great deal. It's going to be awesome. So all publicity is good publicity. Let me tell you that. Okay, I was having a conversation with someone today and talking about Coach Prime, and he starts to talk about the facilities and places that he's been or whatever. And I'm like, first of all, we're not going to even get into that because Coach Clarence doesn't make Prairie View. He didn't make Jackson State. He was an asset to it, and I want to acknowledge him for the things that he did for Jackson State, as well as the SWAC and other HBCUs. Definitely got us back in the game and talking more with the world and public and globally, and celebrities and athletes and all those kind of things, getting them to give money, sending their students, their children to our university. So I think it's a great thing. Do I feel like he's a savior of all HBCUs? No, but I think he did an awesome job in making sure that we're on the map again. So to that, I'm going to take it for what it's worth, and take it for what it's worth as far as having this football camp this summer, and we're going to make it do what it do. If you are in the local Houston area and you have internships, summer internships for football players and equipment managers, everybody that's associated with the football teams of Prairie View A&M University and or Texas Southern, please let me know. You can contact me at 832-293-3476. That's 832-293-DGSN for DG Sports Network. So, yeah, don't hesitate to give us a shout-out. We definitely want to match and pair jobs together so that athletes can stay on campus this summer and get the necessary training that they need in order to be successful for the fall. Also, you can inbox me on Facebook and Instagram, DG Sports ENT, DG Sports ENT. Last but not least, I want to tell you about a couple of other things that are happening. Well, you know about the spring game this weekend. Sorry about that. Next weekend, on the 29th, I believe it is, there's going to be a golf tournament. It's a couple of golf tournaments that are coming up, so you guys be listening out for that. But this golf tournament is the second annual Prairie View Athletic Fundraiser by the Panther Club Alumni Athletic Association. It's going to be held Saturday, April 29th, 2023 at the Pasadena Municipal Golf Course. Reach out to any member of the Panther Club, and they'll get you settled up, okay? After that, I want you to make a mental note about the Labor Day Classic events that are coming up in August and September. Be on the lookout for the NFL Forum. Former NFL players will come and talk to our football staff of Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M University. Okay, on that note, I am about to be out. The opinions and comments of mine are not of those of Dr. Mike Prince and the Mike Prince Show. Just want to give that disclaimer. I didn't do too bad. I don't think I have too many personal comments on this segment, but stay tuned. Donna G always has a little flair for you. Well, you guys have a great week, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.
On May 1st, 2023, the Panther Backers will be having their 29th annual golf tournament in support of Prairie View Athletics. You can get in contact with Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090 for the 29th annual golf tournament presented by the Panther Backers. They'll be honoring football legend Otis Taylor. For more information, dial 713-417-2090.
Welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. As you know, it is our mission to try to bring you some news you could use. Today will be no exception to the rule. We are fortunate to have on the line with us right now the head baseball coach for the Southern Jaguars. And that's none other than the baseball coach himself, Mr. Chris Crenshaw. How you doing today, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Just getting settled in the office, getting ready for a game tonight.
Okay, getting ready for a game tonight. And speaking of games, it's been a little rough on you and the Texas programs and the SWAC and the weathermen on getting things lined up, huh?
Yeah, it's been bad with the weather, but, it is what it is. You got to make ways around it and try to get the games in.
Well, it makes it a little bit more challenging nowadays because you don't have that extra week that you had in times past, and you got to find yourself maneuvering games. That's been pretty difficult to try to make these things up, huh?
Yeah, well, it shouldn't be difficult, but, it is what it is. Us in Prairie View figured out a way to get it done, to get at least 2 games in from our weekend series, and we'll make up the third when they come here and play us. So we'll play a 4-game series that weekend.
Okay, so are you going to play 2 doubleheaders, or are you going to just play your regular Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe a doubleheader on Saturday or Sunday, something like that?
We'll probably play a doubleheader on Saturday. Play 1 Friday, a doubleheader Saturday, and 1 Sunday.
Okay, sounds good. Now, you were in the belly of the beast, as I like to say. That was kind of a weird scenario that happened in Prairie View because we knew about the Thursday and Friday weather, and then from my understanding, although the tarp was on the field had problems draining, and that had to be a frustrating weekend, huh?
It was, I wouldn't say frustrating because we went there to play the games. They did everything they could to play. The field just wasn't ready. They were told one thing, and basically another thing happened from their field guy. So,
okay,
we had a conversation on that Sunday before we left. We had got things figured out. We played a doubleheader on Tuesday and got those 2 conference games in.
Okay, and when it came to the Texas Southern, from the information we had gathered, you guys were going to try to make that game up this past Tuesday, but
yes,
something didn't line up. Can you go in detail on what happened there?
I couldn't tell you on the Texas Southern behalf. We had the game lined up to play a doubleheader on Tuesday. Things didn't work out, and if those games have to come into play, they have to come back to us and play too.
Okay, good enough. Now, with everything that's panning itself out for West, once again, it's a log jam. You got a huge series coming up this weekend against Grambling. They're all huge, but when it's this tight right here, these are the kind of things you live for as a competitor, whether you're coaching or playing, right, Coach?
Yeah. You play the game to play for a championship. And this series that we got coming up could allow us to win the regular season title. We take care of business this weekend and the following weekend.
Yes, sir. Now, you might have to bring me up to speed, Coach. I don't have your schedule right in front of me. I know you got Grambling this week. Who do you have the next week?
I think we go to Pine Bluff, and then we play Prairie View.
Right.
And then Alcorn, and then Pine Bluff again.
Okay, and it's kind of weird the way these series have been balanced, or should I say unbalanced, because Prairie View has yet to play Grambling. However, they'll be concluding with Alcorn. Can you make heads or tails on how this schedule has been lined out?
The conference put it together. I couldn't tell you. I think it's like a rotating thing. We've yet to play Pine Bluff, so.
Okay, so things are looking favorable in your side. So I know you have a game scheduled for tonight, and I want to ask about your philosophy when it comes to how do you approach your non-conference opponents, in particular when it comes to pitching, knowing that pitching is a premium. You're gearing up, as you stated, for a Western Division title. Do you designate certain pitchers exclusively for midweek, or what's your philosophy when it comes to pitching during your midweek opponents?
Of course, I want to win them, but I use the midweek games for development. You can only get so much from throwing the bullpen. For me, I think you have to get out there in the game and see the things that you work on come to fruition in the game, and if it don't, go back to the drawing board and try to figure it out. But I use midweeks to try to develop my guys. Either it's a starter or somebody that needs some work in to possibly help us on the weekend.
Okay. Now, do you have a designated pitch count during your midweek, or do you just kind of let them go until they can't go any longer? No pitch count. It just depends on what we got going on. If I got 5 or 6 guys that need to throw, then I'll try to get those 5 to 6 guys in the game in the midweek. If we trying to figure out a guy to be either a weekend starter or not, then that guy that starts on that Tuesday, he can go for a little bit to try to get his pitch count up to hopefully be a 4th starter that we need for the and tournament play. Okay. Now, of course, tournament will be a slight change. Normally, it's been in New Orleans past few seasons, but now it's going to be in Atlanta. And I'm not sure if this is a one-year pitch or is this something that they're scheduling for the future. Do you know anything about that?
I know it's there this year. I've heard hints of it being there another year, but no, it's a little over my pay grade. I don't know too much. They don't give us a whole lot of information when it comes to that.
Okay.
I just try to get my team to the tournament and try to do our best.
Yes, sir.
Forward, so.
Yes, sir. Well, you're looking in good shape right now because they're taking the top 4 seeds out of each division. And fortunately, I guess, for some, and unfortunately for Pine Bluff and Alcorn, they're struggling out of the gate. But you can't take them for granted. You got to do what you need to do when you go up against opponents like that. But does it really matter? I know you want to win the West, and I know you want to make the tournament as well. Do you have a seeding preference if you're not the winner of the West that you think you would have better success in?
To be honest with you, man, the way I was raised, if you ain't first, then it don't matter. But I haven't really sat down and looked at it as far as I want to be in this point. Our goal right now is to win the West, and when we get to a point where we figure out we can't win the West, then I'll start looking at what's the best matchup for us as far as tournament-wise. I mean, I see those guys. I see the records on those guys on the other side, but as far as keeping up with them. Not much of that is going on. I got enough stuff going on with this team, trying to get us headed in the right direction to be worried about the next team.
Absolutely. I know that you had a great opportunity. Not only did you play at Southern, you were involved with the two head coaches, Kador and Jackson, and then you were handed the mantle. This has been almost like a rite of passage for you. What was it like for you to feel that role, and how do you see your journey thus far at the seat?
I'm living the dream. I can't complain. Coach Kador and Coach Jackson really been good to me, both on the field and off the field. And I love every day being the head coach here. No matter the situations or the things that's presented in front of us that I have to figure out, I still love what I do, and I enjoy doing it. And I hope my players feel the same way that I feel about them, as far as how I show up every day to do my job, to prepare them and get them to the next level, whether that's playing professional baseball or in life. Because we have talks, we have conversations, and I talk to them about how when this game's over with, you're going to be a father, or you're going to be a husband, and how people look at you now is how they're going to be looking at you, depending on you to get the job done, whether you have to make a pitch here, get a big hit there, come up with a plan for the family to be successful, be head of a household. So all of that kind of works together when you talk about being a successful parent, husband, and player. So
Absolutely, because life beyond the diamonds, right?
Yeah, and I try to pass that on to them in different ways. Like when I played, Coach Kador had stories that he would tell out there every practice that related to life and life outside of baseball. I haven't got really good at the storytelling, but we have conversations.
Well, you got to have that Cajun twang that Kador have, man, in order to tell a story right now. Baby, when I played, it was just like this here, and you don't do it like that.
what's his saying? 1935.
Yeah, 1935, baby. You all ain't seen nothing yet. When you ain't seen it like I've seen it, you ain't.
Right. He got some good stories, and I like to listen to him. I call him from time to time to bounce things off of him.
Yes, sir.
How he see it. Yeah, I have him come around and watch. I'm not afraid of being critiqued, so. I have him come watch and tell me what he liked, what he didn't like, and then if it's something he didn't like, I take it back to the drawing board, try to figure something else out, and when we do it again, I have him show up. But so far, he hadn't had much to complain about.
There you go. So you say, I got you, Coach. I was paying attention. I wasn't just daydreaming. He said, when is he going to be done talking, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Now, look, when you talk about Jackson, I'm surprised, man, you guys hadn't had, unless I hadn't looked at the schedule, like I stated earlier, I'm surprised you guys didn't have a midweek against Memphis, man.
Yeah, that's a long drive. His schedule was kind of already made when he got there from the previous staff, so he didn't have a chance to come in and change anything. He just kind of had to do what was on the schedule for this year. We have had a conversation about playing against each other. It's getting to work, but it's a haul. I mean, I'm from Memphis, so I know what that drive is like. So
yes,
that's
sir.
Kind of par for a midweek.
Oh man, all you gotta do is jump on 55, man, and let it cruise you on in, man.
Yeah, it sounds good until you get 3 hours into it and you still got 2 hours left. But
I do understand.
We might try to do some. I'm not a against playing against them.
Yes, sir.
I know
yes,
it
sir.
would be a story to tell from both sides about how we met, how we got started, and how we ended up playing against each other. But maybe a spring break trip or something.
There you go.
They got to play against Tulane. So maybe we can try to line up somewhere and we'll go there.
I was going to say, now you're not going to get him to come play you at Southern, man.
Oh, no. If we have that conversation, I think he'll come down here and play. He was here, so he know what it's like.
Okay.
Maybe we can catch them on a trip where they have to go to Tulane, play them in a midweek game.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of different scenarios out there where we can try to work something out.
Right. Now, I heard you state earlier that you're living the dream. And when you played in this conference, you are a product of this conference. And it's got to be good to see that although it's not quite where we wanted to be just yet, but the level of baseball play has definitely increased in this conference. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it has increased. And I think there's still another level that we can get to, but it takes, we're going to have to, as a conference, we're going to have to make some financial situations occur for us to get our stuff to the level of most of the mid-majors. I'm not saying we got to get our stuff to Power 5 to do that, but if we get our stuff to mid-major level and provide some things that those mid-major schools can provide, we could still get to that next step because we can get the kids that's going to Southern Miss or the kids that's going to Southeastern or that the kid with the good arm that maybe goes to the University of Texas and he goes there to develop and doesn't play till probably his junior year where he could come here, get the same development and play right away as a freshman. Or the kids that Memphis and other schools are recruiting that aren't at the Power 5 level, but in that group of 5, if we can get some upgrades to facilities and put some things in place that those same schools have, and we can offer them, we can get those kids that's considering going to those schools because of the facility or because of the gear, things like that. Because the education tool itself stands at the top with some of those same schools, but the separator right now is, I would say, probably facilities and just the facilities across the conference, and then being able to provide them with the things that those other schools have.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot right now, Coach, because that's what I do sometimes. If you had one item that would be a difference maker to enhance your program, you can only choose one item, regardless of what it is, what would that one item be and why?
The one item, to me, that one item that I think that would be a separator for us would probably be the field situation. And I'm not saying we got to get turf, but if we could get the outfield fixed, or if we could get maybe turf foul territory, things like that, and some drainage put in the outfield, because I think our setup is already one of the top in the conference already. If we got that taken care of, that'll put us at another level. Because then I could be able to talk to some teams about coming in here to play and not being on the road.
And possibly bring a tournament back there too, right?
Yeah, I doubt they ever do that again. Well,
if you got the drainage, man, to be quite honest with you, from my gathering of the parks in the conference, we have enough facilities in the conference where we could hold the SWAC tournament at some of our home parks.
Yeah, I believe so too. We've done it before, but to say to come back to Southern, it'll be a lot of coaches against that.
Oh man, I can see the picket signs now protesting.
Yeah, they want to push that. I'm all for it. I love to play at home.
I know that's right. Well, look, if you had to pick your top facilities in the conference, not in any particular order, which one would you think would be okay to hold the tournament?
That's a tough one. A facility that have the things that we need to host the tournament. It would probably, non-biased, I'd probably say us.
Okay.
Just because of the setup, the central location. We got lights. We got a good plan. When there's no rain involved, we got a good playing surface. The field size is good. We got a covered stand, so if the early games, the fans can sit out there and be covered in the heat. So.
Any other place?
I think Jackson. Because of where they're located, they got a good setup. Their field plays well. It handles rain. Their stand situation is it's okay. You got the green grass right there where you can lay cup blankets out and kids can play on their little hill right there with the bleachers. Prairie View got a nice setup. They got the same thing, covered grandstands. Their lights is what I would think would keep them from hosting Alabama.
That's a phone call away, man. We can make a phone call, fix that ASAP.
Yeah, it sounds good. I think Alabama State probably host. So it's like 3 or 4 schools I think could do it.
Okay. Now, I guess the pushback you would have with the Prairie View and the Alabama States would be the distance of travel from the east to the west and vice versa.
And we got that with the going to Atlanta.
Well, true, but, the Alabama schools are a lot closer than all of them, but that's neither here nor there, right? We just got to show up where they're pointing.
It's like 14, 15 hours from Prairie View to Atlanta.
You don't have to tell me, brother. You talking about a bus ride? That's got to be a flight coming and going. I wouldn't even want to risk that for what could potentially go wrong. You know what I mean? Just to travel there.
Like I said, it's gonna have to be some financial enhancements for you talk about flying. They're gonna be on the bus. They're gonna be on the bus to Atlanta. For us, it's like 8 hours. The closest schools to it is Alabama State.
Yes, sir.
And probably
yes, sir.
What, FAM?
Yeah, Alabama State, FAM would be close. If Alabama A&M, it don't look like right now, as we're speaking, that they would even qualify for the tournament, but they would be pretty close. Everybody else, you got to get on a camel and go for a trek.
Yeah,
it's going to be time to make it. But nonetheless, man, May 24th is when it all starts. But there's a lot of baseball to be played between now and then. And Coach, I really would like to keep a closer tab with you, man, if we could. It's good to have you here on the open mic. I'm a baseball guy myself, product of Prairie View way back. I don't even know what year you was born, but my time was 88 through 90. I don't even know what you was doing. You start laughing. Don't laugh too hard, man. Don't laugh too hard.
I was born in 86, so.
Oh man, you was, as they say, you was running around in a diaper somewhere, right?
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to walk, talk,
right?
All of that while you was playing.
Yes, sir. Well, from one baseball guy to another, man, I want to thank you for making yourself available. And we have a custom here at the open mic where we want to give you some closing thoughts and comments, and the floor is now yours, sir.
Where can I start? Support the baseball in our conference. Come out and watch games. It's a lot to see. Kids, a lot of pride on the line. The kids, they play hard. The coaches are doing the best that they can where they at with what they got. So support us, show up, come to the tournament. And if you get a chance and we come to your town and we play a team, show up and cheer for us, regardless if you went to the school or not. We go on the road sometimes and it's 500, 400 fans for the home school and 2 parents for us. So if you get a chance and you see a school from the SWAC playing in the area that you live in or close to, show up and cheer. I would say to do that because, I mean, at the same time, we represent our league. So, and
yes, sir.
Part of where we come from.
Yes, sir. And it's always good to hear a familiar voice in the stand, isn't it?
Yeah, or see someone that look like you. So,
amen to that, brother. You preaching to the choir for sure on that one. Well, Coach, again, thank you so much. He is Coach Chris Crenshaw of the Southern Jags. They're right in the thicket of things. Got a big series coming up this weekend against the Grambling State Tigers. We're going to keep you posted on the scores, updates with our weekly SWAC baseball coverage here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our website is obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of The Zone. The Zone is a production of the Open Mic Broadcast Network located in Prairie View, Texas. If you would have questions, comments, or concerns about The Zone or anything pertaining to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, feel free to visit our website at obnradio.com and submit your contact information.